I think maybe Justice Chandrachud, though was a judge, was not here. Lordship, you were not here. And I called him Lordship not because of any distance, but by trying to remove the distance. And I must tell you something very interesting, because this also has something to do with a terrific problem at the bar, namely about elevations and about becoming a judge. After 3 names from Bombay, Ajay Khanvilkar, Justice Ajay Khanvilkar, Lordship Chandrachud, and mine had been hanging fire for 2.5 years. One day, in the regular phone call routine which we had established, I told Lordship Chandrachud, then I used to call him Dhananjay or Dhan. I said, this is too much. So he came up with a bright idea, why don't we withdraw our consent? So I said, yeah, that's a very good idea. And I said, we will write a letter, you and I, separately to the Chief Justice Bombay, that is Justice Sabarwal. And we both decided to write that letter, and we wrote that letter. And one of the phone calls he said, but I will call you Lordship from now. And I said, I will also call you Lordship from now, that we are not going to be judges. So this name is something which we have used because we were not going to be judges, not because we were judges. And again, it was in this building that I went to Justice Sabarwal's chamber at Justice Chandrachud's prodding. He said, go and meet him and see what he's saying. As he received the letter, I went to Justice Sabarwal and I said, Chief, I am here on behalf of Mr. Dhananjay Chandrachud and myself, and to tell you that we have withdrawn our consent for being judges of the High Court. And he said, yes, I know, I've tore up both the letters, and is there anything else you want to tell me? So the occasion and his presence here brings back many, many memories.
Justice Bobde narrated how we came to call each other Lordship at a time when the vagaries and uncertainties of the appointment process were confounding us as to whether we would at all become judges of the High Court. We decided to call each other Lordship, which we still do today. Justice Gavai, to both Justice Bobde and me, is HMJ. So even today in the Supreme Court, when we meet in the coffee lounge, I welcome him because I normally arrive a little before he arrives. I always call him HMJ, welcome. Just this morning, I was reading a beautiful article in the New York Times by Justice Stephen Breyer about what judges of the Supreme Court do apart from disagreeing or agreeing with each other on the bench. In India, we tend to agree much more than the American Supreme Court. And the drift of the article is that despite the fact that judges express their views either in favor of what the other judge is saying or against the view so dispassionately and sometimes with a great deal of vigor, they are at heart very good friends.